Hey, David McCree, CPA here, the nonprofit tax guy. I wanted to share some news with you from the IRS. I'm here on the IRS website. Exempt organizations' annual reporting requirements, filing procedures, incomplete returns. So, how does the IRS handle it if you file a Form 990 and it's missing information or it's missing a schedule? Well, the way they used to handle it is they would send you a demand for the missing information. Okay, and they would give you usually 30 days to respond with the missing information and a statement of reasonable cause why you didn't file a complete return to start with. So they've made some changes to this process. What they're telling you now is if you file the return that's incomplete, they're just going to send it back to you, right, with a letter attached to it telling you why they sent it back and telling you to send the missing information within 10 days, giving you a very short period of time. I know that's going to be difficult for a lot of organizations to pull together some sort of a complete return and a response within 10 days. What kind of a letter are they going to send you? They're going to send you what looks like the same 2694C for the Form 990 that's incomplete, 2695C for the 990EZ that's missing information, and a 2696C I believe would be if you forgot to sign the form. I believe that's what that is. Now, it's been my experience generally in the past that when you provide the missing information and a statement of reasonable cause, I have not had much luck with the statement of reasonable cause in those circumstances. I'm not really sure why, but and I haven't done a lot of those because usually by the time an organization contacts me, they've already made an attempt to respond to the IRS, and they didn't send a reasonable cause statement that would pass muster with me. It didn't really meet the reasonable cause criteria. So, in other words, some people may have had with some success with sending the reasonable cause letter. I have not seen success with that. With the new procedure, they're still asking you to submit a reasonable cause statement in the hopes that they will accept it and not assess the penalty. All right, so you need to do it, and I would recommend that you put some effort into doing it. So let's go over their instructions quickly here. They tell you to follow their instructions to provide the missing information, and that is really important, to read the IRS notice very carefully. I know that's one of the things all of us slip up on, is that we tend to just rush through the notice and make a lot of assumptions in our mind, and we often miss things. So read it a couple of times, read it very carefully, and I like to just highlight the action parts, what the IRS wants you to do. And they remind you that, hey, we've identified some missing information, but it may not be everything that's wrong with the return, so make sure you go over it and when you submit it that it's complete. They remind you to sign the return and to attach a copy of the letter that they sent you. So that way, with the copy of the letter, they understand why it is you're sending another copy of the return. And of course, including the reasonable cause explanation. And they say if you don't attach the missing information and if you don't attach the reasonable cause letter, they may charge you a penalty. All right, almost guaranteed they're going to charge you a penalty. And they're giving you 10 days, right? So that's something you have to act on pretty quickly. I mean, I know a lot of small exempt organizations, they don't even check their P.O. box every 10 days. So this is going to be an interesting situation. So then they give you some links here to additional information on their website, and they have a link that shows you what the penalties are for failure to file. And then the ones underneath that, common errors for each of the returns, and I recommend that you read those, okay, for the type of return that you file. They're very instructive, and in my experience, returns are incomplete typically because they're a 501c3 organization and they're required to attach Schedule A, the support schedule, and they failed to do the Schedule A, or they failed to properly complete the Schedule A. It may be attached, it's just blank, right? That's not good. Or a Schedule B. They may the Schedule B is the schedule of substantial contributors. Generally speaking, if you have contributors that gave $5,000 or more, they need to be disclosed on the Schedule B. And if you don't have any large contributors, you just can't leave off the Schedule B. You have to check a little box saying, hey, we're not required to file Schedule B. Otherwise, if they don't find the Schedule B there, they're going to come after you. And the Schedule O. Schedule O, I don't know. I have not yet seen a demand for a Schedule O, but Schedule O is required. For the 990 and the 990EZ. So you want to be sure that you find some reason to attach an explanation for something on the Schedule O. So that's about all I have. I felt like it was important to know, and so I wanted to share it with you. Thanks for watching. If you have problems with the IRS regarding your tax-exempt organization, you want some help, you want some advice, get in touch with me. Be glad to help you.